hello to everyone who is in the conference today. So my name is Dara Heng, and I'm a school principal of the Global Child. Today, I'm very honored to speak about what the Global Child is doing during the COVID-19 pandemic. So please allow me to share you with some of the things that we have been doing here from Siem Reap, Cambodia. So before we get started, I would like to share you all with the outlines of my talk today. I'm going to share with you all about three things. The first one is the Global Child background, of which we call TGC. Second, I'm going to share with you all about what TGC is doing during this COVID-19 pandemic. And the last one is about our lesson learned. So with this slide, I would like to share you just a very quick information about the Global Child. But if you would like to read more about the Global Child, you can scan the QR code at the bottom right so that you can get more information about the Global Child. So allow me to tell you all a little bit about the Global Child. It's a non-profit organization that was founded in 2004. As you can see, the name Judy Wheeler and Alan Scott, who were here and started these Global Child organizations. The school itself and we call it a non-profit organization. It supports the former street working children or the vulnerable students who have lost the opportunity for going to school. And these former students, they were working outdoor or indoor in order to produce the income to support their family. Each day, students could earn probably between $1 or around $1 or less than $1 to support their family. But these students, if they are selected to the Global Child, they are not allowed to work on the street, but instead they have to study full-time, Monday to Saturday from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock. And more than that, each day the student get $1 as a subsidy as long as they study. So allow me to share you all also with the current locations of the Global Child where it is. So it is located in Siem Reap, as you can see at the bottom. Cambodia is surrounded by Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. So the Global Child is located in Siem Reap, is the home of hundreds of ancient monuments. So there it is for the Global Child. The next slide, I would like to give you all some highlight informations of how we started since we got the COVID-19 case first found in Siem Reap. So as you can see there, started from March 7th, 2020, the school in Siem Reap were first. So with this slide, we started to do the staff training in order to use the online tool and also train them of how we could work from the distance with our students when the school was closed at first. So we started the in-person training, and we also started with virtual trainings for our staff. Then here I would like to share with you also how we've been doing with the COVID-19 cases and how our students students and staff were doing.
At TGC, we have an alternative plan for the staff. TGC relying on the parents who come to the school and get the work tasks for their kid to do at home. Students as well, we have trained them about how to do their own hygiene, especially to keep themselves clean from the COVID-19. So as the staff and the student parents as well, that we have trained them.
and so on. So while the school closed, so all the teachers they come here get a training and also sharing as well. For example, all the teachers they learn about Google Form, Google Sheet, Google Presentation, Hangout, Zoom call, and Skype as well. Here they prepare of their lesson to print out for the student to do at home, and also when the teacher they get all the tasks they correct at the school and then send them back for the student to see about the score. Technology is very important to me and to other teachers because it helps me to know more about how to use a classroom technology.
So, since the COVID-19 affects everyone in this world, and I found that it is very hard for everyone, each and everyone, not just me. Everything gets stuck, and I was forced to stay home, and no more job, and everything is shut down.
Hello, my name is Marie. Now I live in TGC school, and every day I do the homework from teacher, painting and drawing the doodle on the wall. And at night I join a study club, and sometimes in the evening I water the garden.
Wash your hand, and number two, don't. No. Number two, stay away from the crowd, and number three, don't stay close each other while to the crowd.
Okay, COVID-19, so I need to wash my hand every day, and I protect myself by wearing mask, and I don't stand near to each other, and I enjoy watch the news like CNN and BBC. Yeah.
As a student in the global child, I would like to say thank you for your supporting and stay safe. Good luck and good health.
So I hope that you get some more information of what we were doing. So the video was produced probably around May back then in 2020. With this slide, I would like also to share you that we have been working very hard as well for the parent training and student training, as well as the creating the online policy for safety rules. So we want to make sure that the student, when we put them into online class, and the staff as well, so that they know what's the right things they do and what's the things that they can't do, like the do and the don'ts for learning and teaching online. So this is one of the slides. We can see that how the parent could meet with us with the support of the students from the distance. We can't really, I can say, we can't really teach the student without the parents or the guardian support from their home, so that we need to engage them. As you can see, some of the screen where you can see the student is with their parents or guardian or their grandma, that is to help their guardian to be able to talk to us from the distance through their phone. They have smartphone, but they don't know how to use it. Or some of them even don't have it, so they have to borrow from a relative in order to be able to meet with us. Next slide here. This is a very important part of what we've been doing and how we could do it during this pandemic time. As you can see, this slide is for the student mapping for the student in grade 7. So in the center, it's the school, and we have some names of our students who are living with us. So for those students who are living at the school, we don't have any worries for them because they can use the school facilities for learning. But for those students who are spreading around, We have identified each individual student, where they are, how far they are, what signal they might have, what internet services that they can use so that they can connect to us from distance. Let me just highlight to those students with yellow highlighted. Here I can read for you all the students like Sri Ning, Meng Sri Ning. She lives in Swaitum village, which is about 15 kilometers. That would be about 10 miles away. And she has no phone. She uses her mother's phone. And her case is that she has no money for her phone card. So let me scroll down, look down here at the bottom left. We have another student named Supon Sopet. So lives in Chandong village, about 1K from the school. She has no phone. She uses her sister's phone. Internet is okay, but not enough balance for using to connect with us. And then another case, another student named Rohnat lives in Swai, so a village about 2K from the school. He has no phone. He uses his sister's phone to learn online. He has no money to use for the phone card, so like the internet data. Then we did the student mapping for all classes. So for this grade 8 seems to have less problem than the others, but let me look at the highlight and read the highlight block for you. So student name Nyan Rotanak, so lives in Coop, a village about 7 kilometers away from the school. He uses his mother's phone. And another student just lives nearby named Lon Nong Chayapum. So he lives nearby Rotanak. So here's the conclusion that the staff made. He doesn't have a phone, but he can join with Rotanak. So in some cases, the students who live nearby, because they are in the same village in the same area, so they were asked like to work together and study together from the distance. Next slide. This is for the youngest students at school for grade 6. So we have identified the same situation. Student who needed more help, the Global Child try to solve any problem for our students as soon as possible at that time. I'm not going to read this detail, but you all can read this video later, watch this video later if you like to. So let me go through to the next slide. So here we did also the research, and we did the visit to the student also oftentimes, because we want to make sure that everyone is safe, even they are at home for their study life and for the family life at home. Allow me to play this video, so it's going to be short as promised. Let's watch it now.
This is my brother, bong pro nhóm một con thua gà.
And I study in grade 11 at the Global Child. So during the COVID-19 happened in Cambodia, so I stay at home every day because it's very safe to study online or doing teacher's work. And sometimes I help my mom cleaning outside, such as cutting grass or water flower.
So we hope that you get some more insightful informations of the global child during this pandemic. Now allow me to continue to the next slide. So we not only just teaching or studying the online material and tested and work with the student. We did quite often this student survey and the staff survey. So with this conference sharing, I could only drag very quick of a research that I did with the student. So this is one of the research that I did it really after a while of teaching the students online from our school. So with a question that, do you like learning online? So as you can see, the majority of the students, 77.8% of the students, they mentioned, they voted that they like. Though we do have some students mention also they dislike the online, and further comments as here, like but prefer in person. It's understandable even for us as a staff. So we understand that we all don't have the habit of learning online, so no doubt. But what makes us happy with this survey is that we're happy to learn that our student, enjoy learning online at the Global Child.
My name is Rainier. Before I study online, I don't know how to study online because it is very difficult for me. I don't know how to use technology because it's so hard for me. And after I get into the online, know how to do research about English or Khmer side, grammars and vocab. Take on dictionaries online. I get used to it and more and can discuss with my friends.
This slide I would like to share with you all what are the online platforms or tools that we've been using with our students. So we've been using 3 platforms here. Well, first one is Edmodo. So we use Edmodo for our classroom management, keeping file, making announcements, or giving lesson plan or uploading the video lessons for the students. So we use Edmodo as a classroom management. And we use Telegram. Telegram is a platform that allows the student and staff to have a quick chat so that each of the live session, the teacher can drop down their Zoom link in there. And the last one, we use a Zoom link for the live session so that the student and teacher can meet up and they can ask a question. And this slide is about we come back. So this was in October or November when the government of Cambodia, especially Ministry of Education, allowed the school to submit their application to apply to get the school reopened. What they call is SOP, school opening procedure. So all schools have to set up like a sitting space, way in or way out, and students have to follow very strict rules that in order to allow the student to get back to the school. As you can see in the pictures, the sitting arrangement has to be 1.5 meters space from each other. Student has to wear masks, teachers as well. And the other 2 pictures, we got the inspection from the representatives of Department of Education. So they had to come in and inspected the school, the rooms, facilities we have for thermometer, temperature check before they allow us to open. And yes, we are allowed to reopen. And allow us to share also how we become flexible as well during this pandemic. Even though the school was allowed to open again, and we've been running now in-person class after the closing for six months, and now we are allowed to come back, but we cannot go back to the same class because the space that we had to set for the students. Somehow we solved the problem by using the eating hall for grade 12, as you can see picture down here on the left. And then classroom 2, we've been using computer room and the library for our students. So 2 rooms combined into 1 in order to be able to host a student. And then the 3rd class is for room 3 and room 4. We combine into 1 class as well. So it's a bit funny, but it's very challenging. But this gives us more strength as well to keep going and to move along for the students and teacher. And these are the current programs that we've been running at the Global Child. So we have 5 programs: general education, food support to the family, teacher training to local teacher. We have also a livelihood program for poor families, and we have community for distance learning for exam preparation of K-12 and K-9. I have some more information with my next slides. So this is an example of one of the live sessions that we have guest speakers and how we set up the room. Students now are back in class, but they sit in one room, and then they have the screen, and the guest speaker is speaking from the other side of the world. So far, we have guest speaker from the US, from the EU, from Poland, and we have guest speakers locally in Cambodia as well. And this slide showing us about pictures of the food that we've been providing to the poor families, mainly our student families and the poor family in the community around the Global Child. This is a pictures of the teacher from the local school that our Global Child teachers went for sharing sessions. So we also share the local teachers about how to use technologies for teaching the student from distance. Another pictures of workshop that we have, as you can see. And this is one of the livelihood programs, the chicken raising, because a lot of parents of the student have no job. Their workplace have been closed down, no job, no income. It's quite stressful for the family. So TGC is very lucky that we had some funding support from one of our donors that's supporting the chicken project. So we can provide chicken to the family so that they can raise the chicken, get the eggs, they get the chick, so they can sell, they grow vegetables so that they can eat themselves, and they can sell to the market, so they can earn little income through this project during these tough times. Another slide, this is a pictures of how we provide and train the families of how to raise a chicken, and building the chicken coop. This slide for the community for distance learning. So we provide a scholarship for 200 students from grade 9 and grade 12. They have their national exam in Cambodia. So the students in this group, they just meet the teacher online only, and it's under the Global Child support with our network communities in Siem Reap. So these are the pictures from on site when we are back to school. As you can see, lots of places have been changed. We have to adapt accordingly. Picture on the left, we have flag ceremony. Picture bottom right, the dance teacher had to use the bigger space for the dance lessons. And the upper part of the right side, that's for the eating hall that the student build themselves, and school providing the lunch breakfast. So they have their sitting arrangement out there. So here the lesson learned that we have learned so far, everyone. I think not so different from everybody. We're new to technologies, all of us here in Cambodia, and teachers at the Global Child. We don't have the right device for even for staff and student, and we don't have any programs for online curriculum. So, but what we tell ourselves and to the staff and student and our parents is that keep going, even though we have to start from level 0. So we keep learning, we keep testing what we know, what we heard, applied, rethinking, reuse, applied again. So we've been very flexible with our students and our working environment team. So allow me to say thank you all who are here today and who are watching this video. I hope that what we've been doing at the Global Child with students and the staff and the community around could be some useful information to share you all. And I'm not going to play this video, as I just want to make it short for you all, but you all can have my slide presentation. You can ask Elizabeth before, so she's the one that bring me into this conference. So, Okun Charan, and thank you all so much. This is my last slide. Sok sabai tang ok khania. Good health.